Welcome to this easy TWA breakdown. So I started with freshly blow dried hair. I washed it, conditioned it, and all that. And then I used the rat tail comb, this oil blend for when the braids were done. I'm using Let's Jam to hold down any stray hairs. And then I used a little bit of weave in the braid just because the back of my hair is short, and some scissors. So first I started off by parting. Of course, you have to part first before you can braid. That's pretty straightforward. I put some jam on the hair just to give it a little more slip. And then I cut this hair in half so that I could have short pieces to add to my hair. Not only do you want to only add a little bit of hair, you want it to be short so that when it gets to the end, whatever you have to sew down or twist together, it's not a lot of hair. But I did use this weave simply because the back of my hair is shorter, and I just didn't want to have to overly have to grip it. Also, I usually would do a feed-in braid for this type of style, like if I was doing it on a client or something for a braid down and they needed some weave added. But because it was just me and this is going under some weave, I figured, hey, I'm just gonna start from the beginning because I haven't had my hair braided in a while anyway. I feel like doing this, but I really don't feel like doing this. So I'm just gonna braid the regular way and keep it pushing. This side of my hair, I actually had a cut in January before I decided to grow my hair out. And on this side, it had a part basically where I parted it here for the braid. So this part was cut into my hair. So this side is much shorter than the other side. That's why I wanted to start over here, just to kind of make sure that the gripping would be okay, that I could do it. Like if I can do it on this side, I can do it anywhere. So this is how it's looking. And I just continue that whole process all the way through. I was loving how these braids were coming out because this was the first time that I braided my hair down, like actual braids since I cut my hair. I had some box braids. I did that, did a couple other styles, but like actually braiding it down, this was the first time. Even though it was going under a wig, I liked the way that the braids were looking. So I was like, okay, my hair growing now. We moving up through the phases again. Yeah, with all of my natural journeys, I never try to rush my hair into growing, but I really do like reaching each milestone. Like first you get the milestone where you can start to finger coil your hair, or you can start to do little twist outs, very small twist outs. Even when you can get to headband phase where you put on a headband or some type of rubber band and just push your hair back a little bit. Now I'm at the phase where I can actually braid my hair down, so I am excited about that. It's been a long couple of months. I wasn't gonna dye my hair this time around, but I figured the only reason why it failed the last time was because I had dyed it darker, and then I ended up having to go lighter, not knowing I needed to bleach it. So I dyed it and I bleached it and I dyed it again, and it was just too much. This time I say, okay, I'm gonna just dye it this one time and leave it at that. I feel like however much of this grows out, I'm just gonna let it just grow out. I don't think I want to keep dyeing it. So at this point in the video, I am almost half to the halfway mark. But instead of keeping it going that way, I just switch over to the other side. It helps me with trying to keep the braids going as straight back as possible. And it's not like one half of my hair is crossing over sideways, and then I get to the other side and I don't have space at the bottom for the rest. then you end up with braids that stop halfway in the middle of your head. So I just switch over to the other side and do the last two braids, have those be the ones that are in the middle of my head. And right here I redid this braid because I looked at the other side and saw that I had a little bit of pushback to where the braid actually started. So instead of starting it right there on my edges, I wanted it to pull back a little bit so that it's not like pulling my edges out. When you make them that type of comfortable, it's easier to keep the braids in, so you can have this in for a couple of wigs or a couple of sew-ins or whatever. However you do your hair. I like to change my hair a lot, so this braid down could last me through a bunch of different looks. Alright, so now we're down to those last 4 braids, and I just part my hair in the middle because the style that I'm doing first will have a middle part. And I know that I'm going to have on a cap and everything, but something about it just seems right when you have a middle part, if you're doing a middle part style. So I braided that down, and when I tell y'all, I was getting so happy that I was almost done. This was the first time I braided my hair down, like I said, so it was a little tiring, I'll be honest. And I was like, oh, okay, so we almost done here. I started getting lazy. Y'all see I had to grab the clips because I was tired of having to hold the hair down and braid and do all this. I'm like, I'm not used to this. I just get up and go, wet my hair, do my lock method, moisturizing, and keep it moving. So yeah, as you can see there, I make sure that I have a little bit of slip back in the front, so it's not starting exactly at the front of the part, like just to give my edges a little comfort. Alright, so that's almost pretty much it for this video. I really liked how flat it came out, even with me adding hair to the front. It wasn't bulky at all. Like you'll see in a second, I'll show you how it looks. Yeah, you see how short my hair is right there? I definitely needed to add a little bit of hair because my hands were already cramping up getting in the middle and trying to really grip that. So yeah, it's pretty flat. Me looking straight forward into the camera, it doesn't look like, you know, it's weave added. Like, it looks like it could possibly be just my real hair. So that's what I like about it. So if you want to do this TWA braid down, just make sure the key is to only use a little bit of hair. And then now I'm just braiding up the pieces in the bag, and because like I said, they are pretty thin, it's not a bulky, you know, bunch of hair. So I just braid the two sides toward each other, and then I'm going to end up sewing it down onto the braids. This whole braid down process took me about 30 minutes. Depending on how long your hair is and the size you do your braids, it could differ for you, but it doesn't take long at all, and it can really last you. Because this is going underneath a wig, I thought the braids looked pretty good, especially for my first braid down after cutting my hair, and it wasn't as frizzy as I expected it to be. That could also be because of the blow dry, so have fun with this look, or not this look, but have fun with this braid down if you want to braid your TWA down for a quick style or something that's going to last you a little bit. Make sure you oil your scalp. Make sure you do this periodically for however you have the braids in, and enjoy it. So I hope you guys like this video. Give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial.